If you're feeling a little bit discouraged, or maybe if you are feeling a little bit less than or inadequate because somebody underestimates you, I want to share this message with you. I am often experiencing this because of many different things. So when I go to the dealer, the mechanic tells me that X, Y, and Z is wrong with my car, not knowing I was a mechanic in the military, not knowing that I know my stuff really well. And they'll run through everything, and it almost always totals up to at least $1,500. And then recently I had to fix my toilet, and I really didn't feel like doing it. I mean, it was something that I knew I probably could do, but I had a little bit of doubt because plumbing is not my expertise. I've done a few little things, but that actually scares me a little bit because I don't know if I'm going to make the problem bigger. So I got an estimate to change the wax ring from the bottom of the toilet, thinking the leak was coming from there. It wasn't. But when I asked my handyman, the guy who usually comes over to do the work, the hard work, and he does a great job, and he charged me $280. And I was like, the heck? I can buy a brand new cheap toilet for $99, and I can buy a really fancy one for $279. So I text back and I said, hey, just to be clear, maybe I miscommunicated. I just need a wax ring exchanged, not a whole new toilet. Is this still the same price? He never responded. So I went to my community online space and I asked for help. One guy responded and he said he could help. I said, hey, thanks so much. And this is me assuming he's just a neighbor trying to help. I said, how's $40 sound? He came back and he said 80, and I can do it tomorrow. So like I had to wait an extra day. And I was like, let me see, let me go and check it out. I went and checked it out, and I realized this is totally doable. It was just the fear of the unknown, right? And troubleshooting. And I did have to go to the hardware store twice because the first time I overlooked one of the seals and didn't realize that it was the bigger seal that needed to be exchanged. But all in all, it took me 2 13-minute drives to the hardware store, and the darn seal ended up being $5.67 plus tax, and then I got a military discount. So anyway, but as I was doing this and I was kind of hesitant, I'm like, I really hope that this works. I hope it doesn't leak, because leaks lead to much bigger things. And I thought, Dali, why are you doubting yourself? And look at these people are underestimating your knowledge, and they're overcharging you because they think you cannot do the things. Like with the car, they said my timing belt gasket had to be replaced. That is super hard to replace, and I mean, it's really a pain in the butt to replace, but it's really unlikely for a gasket to go bad in the type of car I have, a hybrid. So I was like, and then they were like, oh yeah, look here, there's a leak. And the leak was not from the gasket. The leak was because they had put some oil in the engine, and then they got messy and it dripped down, and the drip that he showed me wasn't even along the sides of the gasket. Some people really think you're stupid or that you don't know anything, and I especially hate it when dealers do this. It makes me really angry because I think young women who don't know anything about this, who have never been taught or haven't dared to explore and take things apart and do it themselves, will get got. Like somebody will get over on them. And I find that being underestimated is my superpower. I love it because when I come back and say, as a matter of fact, I saw that this actually cost this much and that this is probably what the problem is. Sometimes I don't even go back to them. I just move on to the next person who is actually going to help. And sometimes I reveal myself and I can see the expression on their face because they've realized that they've effed up and tried to get over on me. This happens a lot to me. It has happened when I say, actually, I have a master's degree, and they're like, oh, I didn't think you would have a master's degree. Why not? You know, or, oh, you're an immigrant, you speak English so well, you're so articulate. I'm not supposed to just because I'm an immigrant. So it's just, instead of allowing those moments to make you feel like you're not good enough, or maybe even, you know, ashamed or anything, think of it as you, the person underestimating me, are the dumb one. You are small-minded, and I'm a badass. So stand in your power, ladies or gentlemen, because it happens to men too. And don't ever let somebody's opinion of you make you feel small.